Come on, get happy. Worlds collided for the Partridge Family, whose lives showed the stark contrast between suburban living and life in the spotlight. Debuting in fall 1970, the Partridge Family had a lot of ways to promote itself. Not only did they have a television show, but they also released 8 albums in addition to compilations. All of this topped with live performances. And this barrage of content worked. But a lot of their success traces back to the cast itself. I'm Nostalgic Nick from Do You Remember? And if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss a single video that we premiere. Alright, everyone on the bus. Shirley Jones. Shirley proved an integral part of the Partridge Family even when the show was still in the works. Jones made a career out of embracing the role of a kind, reliable figure in numerous titles, many being similar musical projects, allowing her to show off her vocal range. That talent became apparent to the famous composers Rodgers and Hammerstein, who took note of Shirley during an audition, and by 1955, she earned a spot as the female lead in the movie adaptation of Oklahoma. And boy, the musical films just kept coming after that. Shirley's casting as the Partridge matriarch was absolutely non-negotiable for the show's creators.
I'm sure you could make it as an actor. That was quite a performance last night.
She would end up playing a similar nurturing role in There Were Times, Dear.
Good morning, everyone! It's time to get started!
Shirley is still acting frequently, including an appearance on Sesame Street as Mother Goose. Along with acting, today she celebrates her sprawling family that includes 10 grandchildren. David Cassidy. David Cassidy, being a rising star, ended up exploding into a supernova. David was just 20 years old when he became Keith Partridge, the band's lead singer and eldest Partridge child. To say Cassidy came from entertainment royalty is an understatement. Both his parents were actors, and his father, Jack Cassidy, was also a celebrated singer. By David's 5th birthday, his parents had divorced, and Jack quickly married renowned vocal powerhouse Shirley Jones. So David already had some experience with Shirley as a mother, and by 1969, David was nabbing guest spots in hit shows like Mod Squad and the wildly popular Bonanza.
People remember Billy Burgess.
Then the Partridge Family picked up, and so too did David's problems.
I only wanna make you happy, and if you say, hey, go away, I will.
His standout role as Keith transformed him into a teen idol and international heartthrob. Also, be sure to check out our Top 70s Heartthrob video to see if David made the cut. Cassidy was so popular that people were rabid for any type of news related to him, and that limelight took its toll. As the Partridge Family in the 70s came to a close, his infatuated fan base began to move on, and the end of the decade was tough on him for many reasons. And in 1978, David's first post-Partridge show, David Cassidy, Man Undercover, only lasted 1 season, although it is a pretty underrated show if you haven't seen it.
Police!
In the 90s, David found success with live performing and had several different popular shows in residency in Las Vegas. He suffered from alcoholism and drug abuse. He had multiple DUIs in the 2010s, and his vices ultimately contributed to liver failure, which became his cause of death in 2017 at the age of 67. But no one will ever forget the name, the smile, and the voice of David Cassidy.
I know you want me like I want you.
Danny Bonaduce. Wisecracking Danny Partridge sported the unmistakable head of flaming red hair. He was the group's bass player, also lending his voice for the family band, with singing and with smart aleck remarks.
I just got a title for it. I'm calling it This Is My Song.
In 1970, Danny became a Partridge, and quickly became as recognizable as they come. Danny's career had a bit of everything. Television guest appearances and roles in films were fairly frequent, but nothing like Partridge. His next longtime gig would be as a radio talk show host. Sadly, and oddly similar to David Cassidy, Bonaduce struggled with drug addiction and alcoholism.
And I lived right behind this dumpster, but I lived in my car. I had a car, I didn't have a possession.
Danny's also a black belt in karate and currently married to his 3rd wife.
He said if we don't stop bothering him, he's gonna send over a man with an axe to chop us up into little pieces.
Susan Day. Surely you remember the lovely Susan Day, who surprisingly had no prior acting experience when she was brought on as Laurie Partridge. Susan was a teen model and at 17 joined the Partridge clan. Her character cared a lot about relevant worldly topics.
Danny Partridge, you're a male chauvinist piglet.
Post-Partridge, Day frequented many hit TV shows like Barnaby Jones and Hawaii Five-0. She was even considered for the role of Sandy in Grease, which, if you haven't seen our Grease behind the scenes video, check that one out after this. In 1986, Day got perhaps her biggest break of her career, even surpassing the Partridge Family, with her role in LA Law. The gig would supply Susan with 3 Emmy nominations and 1 Golden Globe victory out of 5 nominations. Her popularity on LA Law also yielded a Saturday Night Live hosting opportunity in '92.
Hi, I'm Susan Day, and I'm hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend with musical guest Kaka and the Music Factory.
Though she hasn't acted since 2 episodes of 2004's Third Watch, she has kept herself busy. Having suffered from anorexia during the run of the Partridge Family, seems to be using her position to now influence other young girls. Brian Forster. Brian Forster wasn't the first Chris Partridge. That honor goes to Jeremy Gelbwax, who departed the show after 1 season. Shirley Jones stated that, quote, he was not happy doing the show. His parents wanted him to do it, so we replaced him. Season 2 ushered in Brian Forster. Born in 1960, Forster wasn't even a teen when he joined the family band as the drummer. And after being a Partridge, he didn't really act at all. Instead, his career made a sharp turn, literally, as Brian is now a professional race car driver and stunt driver. Forster kept his fingers in the acting pie, but on a smaller scale, with community theater. He was destined to be connected to the arts in some way, being a great-great-great-grandson of Charles Dickens. Pretty cool. Suzanne Crough. The youngest tambourine-wielding Partridge child, was only about 6 years old when they filmed the pilot episode. After the Partridge Family wrapped up, Suzanne did a couple other roles, including being part of another family on Mulligan's Stew, led by sitcom royalty Eleanor Donahue, before retiring from acting at age 17. She would run her very own bookstore and married in 1985 and had 2 daughters. Sadly, Crough was only 52 when she died unexpectedly of a rare heart disease in 2015. Former co-star Danny Bonaduce pointed out the cruel irony, stating, everyone thought I'd be the first Partridge to go.
Her daughter's is getting married next month, and what a shame that she won't be there for that.
Sadly, it was little Tracy. Dave Madden. Every band needs a manager, and they got one through Reuben Kincaid. In 1951, Dave dropped out of college and enlisted in the Air Force, where he was very successful as an entertainer in camp shows. This led to his humble beginnings after the war as a comedian. His career started slow, but he finally caught a break while performing at a Beverly Hills nightclub.
One day my mother took me aside, which struck me as odd because there wasn't anybody around at the time.
Madden won the patrons over, in particular one patron, none other than Frank Sinatra himself, who recommended him to Ed Sullivan. Well, 3 nights on Sullivan put Madden on the right track, and in 1965, he scored a great role on Camp Run-Amok. Dave was also a series regular on Laugh-In, performing in 24 outrageous episodes. Reuben Kincaid as an agent always seemed agitated, but Madden himself was always there for his co-stars. When Bonaduce endured tough times, Madden opened his doors to him, and Bonaduce stated that he owed Madden a lot for how reliable and supportive he was. Though the Partridge Family provided his most iconic role, he had a recurring role in the TV show Alice as Earl Hicks in 35 episodes. Dave Madden passed away in 2014 at age 82, on the same day as Russell Johnson, who played Professor on Gilligan's Island. That groovy bus. No way we're forgetting the bus. I mean, it was one of the coolest parts of the entire show. So what happened to it? Did it drive the Hanson brothers around LA too? No, it sadly didn't. Reportedly, the actual bus lived for years behind Lucy's Tacos near the USC campus. And in '87, when Lucy's repaved their parking lot, the bus was unfortunately sent off to a junkyard. But we can still pretend that it's driving around a musically gifted family. So, who was your favorite member of the Partridge Family? What song was your go-to? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the thumbs up button. And it really would mean the world to us if you would subscribe to our channel so you won't miss a single video that we come out with. Okay, that's enough for now. From all of us here at Do You Remember, thanks for watching.